It's Championship Sunday here in Pensacola, Florida, as Lee and West Florida battle it out for the Gulf South men's soccer title. The number 3 ranked Argos, they have the most titles in league history, but they'll face a Lee University team that won the 2019 title. It's Lee University and West Florida live from Pensacola next on Flow Sports. You're watching Gulf South Conference Soccer on Flow Sports, and now we welcome you here to Ashton Brosnahan Park alongside the talented Datijan Kiri. I'm Noah Frary. Lee, they won that 2019 title. West Florida, they've appeared in 5 of the last 6 title games. Both teams played tight games to get here. Lee got through 1-0 against Spring Hill. West Florida had to go through penalty kicks. We've had an extremely exciting tournament on both the men's and the women's side. What are you expecting today?
I'm expecting 2 teams to play a possession-based soccer game. Both these teams like to have the ball at the feet. They like to find their playmakers. I know Lee has Jared McWhorter, who scored a big goal in that semifinal against Spring Hill. West Florida has guys like Ed Chappie, Kenan Dos Santos, all GSC selections. So I'm looking to see the best players make a difference in this big game.
We'll determine a GSC champion right after this. Our starting lineups kickoff coming your way after the break.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
I was told the place I was looking for didn't exist.
A place that could refine my raw talents into something greater.
Where I could ask big questions about my faith, not settling for easy answers.
And I could risk what's comfortable in pursuit of my dream.
To join with others, find my voice, and change the world.
I was told that place didn't exist.
Then I found Lee.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
52 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
the T.
Yeah, he was a first-team All-GSC selection, and you notice when he did get the ball in that semifinal, I think he hit the crossbar in that game. So it's a dangerous player. You definitely want to isolate him out wide, give him a chance to run at defenders and get some shots off.
Expecting a great soccer match here today between the 4 seed in this tournament, Lee University, and the 3 seed West Florida. Lee University, they have played to 2 1-0 games in this tournament so far, including that overtime winner by Jared McWhirter in that last round. And West Florida, it was a very chippy game in that semifinal. We saw 13 cards in total, 12 yellows, 1 red. But they would win on penalty kicks 3-1, and it was their goalkeeper that stepped up in a big way. He's going to need to do much more of the same today.
And you know, you usually can't win a championship game without your keeper making at least 1 or 2 big saves. And Gomes is going to have to do that again, as well as Sam Keener for Lee.
Underway here at Ashton Brossenham Park. Local media out here today filming West Florida, expecting a good West Florida crowd out here today. They've brought some great crowds throughout this tournament, some great support for their teams.
I think some of their fans are still filtering into this game, but I like how Lee's pushed forward early on. You see Fabian Navarro was on the right wing. He received that ball, I believe, from number 12, Noam Stein. Put in a nice cross, but G.I. Gomes made a nice little catch on that cross.
The T, you mentioned maybe some late arriving fans. I mean, you got to have Sunday brunch and, you know, maybe sleep in a little bit. So expecting to see some of those fans start to show up in just a while.
And you know they're going to be loud and raucous just as they were on Friday night.
Just underway here in Pensacola, Florida. Lee University, the 2019 champions, taking on a West Florida team that they beat in that final. This West Florida team, they've been in 5 of the last 6 championships in the Gulf South Conference. But the T, they haven't won it since 2013, and that's certainly an anomaly. This West Florida program has been so strong for many years. They have the most titles in GSC tournament history, but they've been in a bit of a cold stretch in terms of these finals.
They have been, and I mean, Coach Elliott has been the coach for many years in this program. But, you know, he's got a different team this season, and a lot of these players, I'm sure they know the history. But, you know, I don't think they're worried too much about it. They just want to take care of business today.
We mentioned in that semifinal match how young this West Florida team was, and I think you said it so succinctly earlier in this broadcast. They grew up in that semifinal game. They were challenged. That AUM team was a very old team. They played a ton of soccer. It was extremely physical, but give West Florida so much credit for getting through that contest. Passed around the back now. There's Nick Meitchboom. He would play 92 minutes in that overtime game against Spring Hill. Jared McWhirter ended up being the hero in that contest with just an absolutely beautiful strike, top shelf. There was nothing that Spring Hill's goalkeeper could do to save that one. I love the word that you use from time to time, just a moment of inspiration.
I mean, it's a goal fitting to win any match, and what a goal that was from Jared McWhirter. I'm sure he'd love to do the same in this championship game.
I think the thing that was most interesting about that game was the fact that those same 2 teams played to a 1-0 overtime victory during the regular season, and those 2 game-winning goals came within 30 seconds of each other. Each team would win one. Lee, perhaps, as their coach told me after the game, he says they can have the regular season one. We'll take the one here during the postseason.
Yeah, as you said, definitely want to take the one that matters in a game like this.
Michaela passing it forward. McWhirter was on the ball, went down the line, and then taken down. And Lee University, they will have a free kick from just outside the box, and it's the captain, Michaela, standing over it. 42-match starter during his 4-year career in Cleveland, Tennessee. An extremely talented midfielder. He passes it to McWhirter. The give and go to the corner, and Ed Chappie, another one of those players on this field that has played a ton of soccer, did a nice job.
It looked like that was a free kick straight off the training ground from Lee in that situation, but Chappie did a great job recovering. He read what they were trying to do on that play and won that header.
Ed Chappie, he didn't necessarily appear on the score line in that game, but had such a big part. He would make it the first penalty kick, which really set the trend. He had a big yellow card at the end, too, that kind of stopped that breakaway by AUM. So certainly his fingerprints were all over that contest.
Yeah, he's a very smart player, the playmaker for this West Florida team. As you said earlier, that was a great first penalty to get that penalty kick shootout started. Gave his team some confidence.
Chappie, the graduate student out of Reading, England, a 3-time All-Gulf South Conference first-team honoree, an opportunity for West Florida. But Sam Keener, who's been so good all year long, he's allowed a goal or less in 16 of his 18 starts. Stuffs that one right there, and certainly it's going to be a tall task for this West Florida team against Keener, who's been so strong in goal.
I like how West Florida committed numbers forward right there. You saw number 4, Forkin Artar, the left back, was able to get wide and hit a nice cross into Keegan Anselin. Anselin got a nice head on the ball, but it's a good save from Keener.
Dos Santos has it taken away. Good turn there into space by Kyle Orantes. Nice touch by Dos Santos. He was a player that we mentioned his name multiple times. Never quite got going, but he would make his penalty kick situation. You see him go down right there.
And as you can see, he's a very talented player, very nifty, skillful player. That was a nice little flick over the lead defense, and he is able to draw a foul in that situation.
Dos Santos, 13 goals this season. My memory serves me, leading the Gulf South Conference, or very near the top in that category this year. He's certainly been one of those players that can turn a game on his head, and that's something so many coaches will talk about. They love to have those players that can just change things.
That's the thing. You have to have at least 1 or 2 difference makers on your team. Somebody that you can rely on in tough situations, and Dos Santos is one of those players for West Florida.
0-0 the score, just 6 minutes into this one between Lee University and West Florida, a rematch of that 2019 championship game. We didn't play an official championship during the spring due to the ongoing effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. West Florida also opting out of that season last year, and their coach mentioned that with this young squad, they didn't have enough players really in his mind to compete at a high level, so they chose to take that step to not compete during that spring season.
And I'm sure they're able to take advantage of a lot of training and a lot of practice in those situations. Maybe you had a lot of inter-squad games. They were able to learn about each other a bit more, so I'm sure that was important for them.
And you know, for these players, that's not what they love. They don't love being out on the trading ground. To tee, you were a player. You want to play the game, and so certainly that had to have been frustrating not playing, but now perhaps seeing some of the rewards for all of that extra practice this spring.
And you said you always want to play against other teams. You don't always want to play against your own guys all the time. It's always fun to play against different competition.
Play down the line, looking for Balzano, the senior out of Italy. 69 minutes, a couple of shots in that semifinal game for Lee. He was involved a lot, but wasn't able to find a goal in that contest. Navarro looking to get it back to Balzano, now has it taken away, and West Florida ahead on the break. Keegan Anselin battling, and he'll come up with it. Anselin, a freshman, very talented freshman at that. They find Ed Chappie in the middle. Very quick buildup from West Florida.
Yeah, they were pushing forward right there. Gotta love the play from Keegan Anselin going up against that Lee defensive unit.
Dos Santos will send one towards goal, and it was Bischoff who stepped in front. Early opportunity there for the Argos, but we haven't really talked a lot about this Lee defense yet in this game, but they've been stifling opponents all year long. They've given up just 13 goals, very similar to what we saw from the women for Lee University, who had given up just 5. Their defense is something that they use a ton. Off the crossbar by Balzano.
So you got to love that play from Michaela, breaking lines, and he found McWhorter. McWhorter fed that through to Balzano. Balzano's strike goes just off the upright, but see, that's where Lee's going to be able to make a difference in this game. They have to be able to play through those lines quickly.
Combination passing, and that's what we saw. Just a great angle right there. I thought it went off the post. I think it might have gone off that extension right there, just off the side. Didn't quite have that great angle to put one on target.
He's got to go across the keeper in that situation, but I mean, that's a tough shot.
Jihad Gomes, one of the best as well. He set a school record for goals allowed average and shutouts during that 2019 season as a sophomore. He's followed it up with another good year, allowing about 1.2 goals a game, so he's allowed more goals than he's used to doing, but certainly is stepping up here in postseason play. Held that game scoreless in the semis over 110 minutes and came up with some massive saves in that penalty kick session.
Yeah, I'm sure that semifinal was a great confidence-building session for him.
Mistake here by West Florida. Here's Balzano, dumps it off, an opportunity for Lee. Centering ball, cleared away A dangerous opportunity from the Flames on a misplay by the Argos.
You see that danger for Lee right there. Able to win that ball. You see Balzano running at the defense. Was able to lay that off to Kai Orentes. Nice block from that West Florida defense right there.
A great step there by Marshik in the center. Early opportunities for both teams. Neither team able to take advantage to this point. That crowd that we mentioned starting to siphon in here a little bit at Escambia County Stadium. We've seen so much good soccer this weekend already. Lee University's women's team taking down West Georgia in that final yesterday. Multiple hotly contested semifinal matchups. Certainly been a Gulf South Conference tournament for the record books. 0-0 the score as we tick into our 10th minute of play. JT, we've seen these two teams play early on. They've both been kind of feeling each other out. They've been some early opportunities. We see one developing right here, played down the wing, but back to Keener. Seen some good early opportunities. What are some initial thoughts from how these two teams are playing?
I mean, it's as good as I expected. Both teams are going to want to touch the ball. They're going to want to try to build up play out of the back. I've seen a few situations where Lee's been able to use those center backs to hit some direct balls out to the right side or the left side of the field. But most of the time, you see, they're going to try to build up. They're going to try to move the defense from side to side. So I think we're going to continue to have a good game.
Stein plays that into the box. Balzano controls. Now back to Stein. They'll play it into the back post. But there wasn't anyone there from Lee as that one's headed out for a throw-in. We saw in that women's final yesterday just how important maybe perhaps getting that first goal on the scoreboard was. Lee did that yesterday in the 6th minute. We're past that at this point, but it changed the complexion of that game and forced West Georgia to play from behind throughout the entirety of that contest. Certainly that's what both of these teams are looking to do today. Nil-nil the score through 12 minutes of action here in Ashton-Brosnan Park, Escambia County Stadium. That ball bounces around in the middle, now controlled by the Argos and Ed Chappie. Quickly taken away, though, by Navarro. He was a pesky player in that semifinal game. That one into the box, headed away. That was Barankiewicz who sent that one out of play. West Florida now with a throw-in opportunity, and they turn to Furkan Artar to send it in. The redshirt freshman out of Germany gets it back in play.
Yeah, these moments are going to be key for West Florida defensively. They're going to have to stay disciplined, and they're going to have to try to break forward, especially with the lead trying to keep a lot of possession on this end of the field. West Florida has to stay disciplined. They have to keep communicating with each other. They can't give the ball away like that.
You feel like Lee's been in sort of a high press here early on?
Somewhat of a high press. You see a lot of times, like when that ball goes out wide, they're committing numbers to try to cut off those passes, especially passes back to the middle. Especially you see Elijah Howe, number 5 for West Florida. He's checking into the ball, but usually Lee has someone stepping onto him. They're trying to force West Florida to go long when they're trying to build up.
Well, and you'd have to think that's a good strategy. If you saw what West Florida did during that semifinal, they love to play through Chappie in the middle. So if you can keep that ball away from Ed Chappie, this Argos offense just isn't as strong.
And it's exactly what it is. You definitely want to keep the ball away from any team's dangerous player, and that's exactly what Lee's trying to do.
McWhirter sends one towards goal, and it'll just miss. Couldn't tell if Gomes got a hand on that.
I think he did. Great opportunity from Lee right there. You see Emily Michaela pulling the strings one more time. What a strike from McWhirter, but another nice save from Jihad Gomes.
Gomes got his right hand on that one.
Gotta love a guy like Emily Michaela, the captain for this lead team. Always pulling the strings, running the team. This team flows through him.
Some great replay angles so far today. You saw that one go right off of that hand of Jihad Gomes. Big save there to keep this one leveled. 14 minutes in, Lee, they've been extremely aggressive here early on. They won that 2019 title over West Florida 1-0. Certainly looking to get an early goal here. That's been the sense. Keener finding Meijboom, the sophomore out of the Netherlands. He's appeared now in a career best 19 games this season. He started them all back on defense.
He and Bischoff have been rocks in the back for this lead team, especially in that last game against Spring Hill. I thought they both had great games. You see they're both comfortable with the ball, but as well as they're comfortable without the ball.
Great give and go. They try to get it to Bonzano. He plays that off of the defender. And out for another corner kick, the second of the match for Lee. They look dangerous on the last one, and this is where you see them bring up some of those players, Bischoff, Meijboom, adding more size in the box.
And it gives guys like McWhorter a target to aim for. Guys that are over 6 foot, guys that are good in the air.
McWhorter, an all-decade honorable mention in the Gulf South Conference, played that one in. It goes out to Navarro. He sends it back in. Header on goal, cleared away by Barankovic.
What another big opportunity for Lee right there. Ball bounces out to Fabian Navarro. Takes a touch. I thought he's going to strike it on goal, but he just makes the right decision, hitting it to Caio Arantes. Arantes got a head on it, but what a save from Jihad Gomes once again.
It appeared that was Marshik who sent it out as opposed to Barankovic. Michaela services a ball in. Dangerous. It gets to McWhorter. His one-timer deflected.
West Florida doing a good job weathering the storm right here. Lee is definitely committing numbers forward, trying to get this opening goal.
5 early shots for Lee. 2 of them on goal. Just 1 shot so far for West Florida. 0-0 the score remains after 15 minutes. We see that corner kick again by Michaela. Sent in dangerously. Nice job by West Florida to get a head on it first. We mentioned the talented West Florida offense, but certainly a good defense against a talented offense is a strong offense.
Definitely want to limit opportunities. So for guys like Dos Santos, he has to try to find the ball in these situations.
Navarro, good turn, drops it off. Cervantes plays it through the middle. Now back outside to Stein. He'll service one in with the right foot, sent out for another corner kick. Lee has felt very direct early on in this game, and they're having some success.
Yeah, they're committing numbers forward, guys like Noam Stein on this right side. One thing West Florida has to do, they have to close down these Lee midfielders quicker. Can't allow guys like Navarro to turn, or Cervantes as well, because you know he's dangerous.
McWhorter to service it from the right corner flag, sent into the box. Barankovic clears it away, and Michaela's shot misfires. The scoreline persisting at 0 apiece here through approximately 18 minutes of this contest. Good soccer here early on, particularly for Lee. They've had a lot of great opportunities early in this contest.
Just as you said, they've created a lot of good opportunities. Let's hope they don't rue those chances. I'm sure they're hoping they don't do that. But West Florida's done a good job weathering the storm. Let's see if they can relieve some of that pressure, maybe get into a few spells of possession and try to settle back into this game.
West Florida leading the all-time series between these two programs. They're 5-2-4. This the 12th matchup between the two squads. And West Florida, they've had a lot of success over the last 5 meetings against Lee, going 2-1-2. Over those last 5, that lone loss in that 2019 championship game. So certainly West Florida has played well against Lee, but early on here, Lee looks like the better team. Stein plays it down the line. He was trying to get it on the foot of Arantes, deflected out.
Stein's been lively early on for Lee. Gotta love that burst of pace. And he's able to get that to Arantes and want to throw in for his team.
Bischoff heads it downfield. It'll be West Florida that controls and sends it back up the pitch. That was Quiros, the sophomore midfielder out of Brazil, who first got to it. He's made career high 16 starts this season now, 18 appearances this season. He's one of those young players that is stepping up in a big way.
See, I like that little spell from West Florida there. They're trying to play out of the back. They're trying to do what they're good at. They need to keep trying to do that. Finding guys like Chappie, move the ball around, try to move this Lee defense from side to side.
Lee has certainly made it difficult for them to get it to Chappie. You've seen him drop in a little bit deeper too, try to find space in order to get the ball.
And that's one thing a lot of players have to do sometimes. They're not getting the ball to them. they got to drop in and find the ball.
That one cut off. It's Michaela who steps in front. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. Strong touch, and West Florida will get it back on the sideline.
Got to love the work rate from Michaela right there, stepping in and winning that ball.
Lee trying to win back-to-back Gulf South Conference championships again. The spring championship series contested last spring, not an official championship. So Lee trying to go back-to-back after winning in 2019. West Florida, though, perhaps trying to spoil the party here today. Good contingent of Lee fans here in Pensacola that have made the trip. They got a treat to watch their women's soccer team win yesterday. A lot of them have stuck around for this men's draw. Very tight-knit community, and certainly down here cheering on some very talented soccer teams. That one sent into the box. Easy for Gomes as he controls, quickly gets it back into the run of play.
Looked like he was aiming for Caio Arantes there. Arantes, another good option, another target man, someone you can aim for on crosses like that.
Anselin took that one off the chest. They say play on after he went down.
Very interesting. No call from the ref there. I thought that was a foul.
See it again right there on the screen. Chappie played it forward. It went off the chest of Anselin. Baby bumped from behind. I certainly thought that could have been a foul call. But at the end of the day, we'll leave it to the professionals down on the field. They know the game of soccer a lot better than you and I do, to T. Esteban Iordo, our center official in this one. Certainly a big deal for these officials, too, to be able to be the center official in a championship. That's something that you certainly work all year to do. It speaks to the strength of your officiating all season long. A good crew out here today.
And it opens up more opportunities for them to continue to ref it at higher levels as well.
0-0 the score, 22 minutes into this matchup between Lee University and West Florida. A rematch of the 2019 championship game. And early on, it's been Lee University who's been the aggressor in this contest. Neither team has been able to get on the scoreboard yet. Battle for the ball in the corner now, won by Marshak. He had a good game the other night. The freshman defender out of St. Petersburg, Florida. He's one of 4 Argos to start all 18 games this season.
You're correct about that. He's very solid. I thought he did a lot of good things defensively in that game. Kept good possession whenever he had the opportunity to as well. So they're going to need another good game from him today.
Dos Santos not able to control on that pass by Calway Novus, the freshman out of Brazil. Novus, another one of those players who's started every game this year. He's the team leader in minutes played. And you don't see that a lot out of midfielders. A lot of times it's the defensive players, but those midfielders, they do so much running that it's not normal to see them lead a team in minutes played.
See, that's a testament to his fitness level. That means he's very strong, he's very fit, and he can give you 90 minutes every game.
Navarro tries to cut towards the end line. He sends that one across. It looked like it was out of play. Gomes had it covered nonetheless. This is going to be a good angle right here to see Navarro cut in. Got awfully close, couldn't keep it in play.
You can see the pace of Navarro in that situation. He's a first-team All-GSC selection. He's quick. He loves to run at defenders. Looks like Caio Arantes is down for Lee.
Pulling that right boot off and focusing on that top part of his foot. And you have to think that maybe he got stepped on right there. That's oftentimes what you'll see.
And those are very painful, very, very painful.
We're going to step away for just a moment. The lead player, Caio Arantes, down. He'll be attended to by the trainer. When we come back, we'll get back to action here in Pensacola.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
As we welcome you back out of the injury, Kyle Orantes making his way off the pitch. It looked like maybe he got stepped on. And Tati, you've played the game of soccer. You know that the bottom of those cleats, it's a hard plastic. And when you get stepped on right on the top of that foot, it hurts.
Yeah, very, very painful situation. Hopefully he can come back and play.
You saw him quickly rip that cleat off and was focusing on the top part of that foot. Certainly any competitor, you want to see both teams being able to play their best during these games. Well, certainly something we'll be watching out for. Orantes, one of the better scorers on this team. 5 goals. He's second on this lead team this season.
Yeah, he's been a solid target, man, but also has a high work rate up there. Looks like they're going to replace him with, I think it's Balzano, who's going to go into that center forward position. I think they brought on Colin Lewis, who's going to slide into the left. Colin Lewis, who scored in that first-round game against Mississippi College, the game-winning goal.
Certainly speaks to the depth that Lee University has off of their bench. Nil-nil the score between these two programs, UWF and Lee University. 21 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Both teams still remaining scoreless despite some early opportunities by both sides. 5 shots for Lee, 2 of them on goal. They've looked good early on.
As you said earlier, they've been the aggressor in this matchup. They've pushed West Florida back. They created opportunities, but still 0-0. You never know what can happen in a game like that.
Throwing on the far sideline now for Lee, the trigger man, Sagi Rada. I love saying that first name, Sagi. It's just an interesting name you don't see very often.
I believe he's from Israel, and he featured in that 2019 championship game. Was a solid part of the back line. I'm sure he brings a lot of experience to this lead team.
You were absolutely correct, from Tel Aviv, Israel, and also correct on the second part, too. He played in 18, made 18 starts that season. He was second on that team in minutes played, so certainly a player that you love to have out there from an experience standpoint. West Florida starting to find a little bit more success building from the back. Lee University kind of took that away early on in the game. It's forced West Florida to create a little bit more movement. You've seen players having to drop in to get passes.
I see Chappie dropping into that pocket of space, just as you said. He has to keep getting touches on the ball. They have to play through him, and they're having a little bit of success right there.
That one played down the line, trying to get on the end of it. Bernardo Torres, too firm on that pass. Sam Keener will have a goal kick opportunity upcoming.
And in Bernardo Torres, you have a guy who's high energy, high work rate, willing to make those runs, especially contribute defensively. Solid player for this West Florida team.
Zeros continuing to persist. Just over 19 minutes to go here in the first half of play. A rematch of the 2019 Gulf South Conference Championship, and so far through the first 25 minutes, certainly shaping up to be a really good soccer match. Bischoff servicing a ball forward. He finds McWhirter. Great switch there. That's something you don't see in the women's game as much. That's just the strength of Bischoff to be able to find McWhirter.
You can see he has a long range of passing. He can make those short passes, of course, but those big passes, that's how you see how good of a center back or how good of a player someone is. Can they complete those diagonal passes? And Bischoff, as well as Nick Medroom, are really good at that for Lee.
Played into the center. McWhirter tried to get his right foot on it. Unable to control as it bounds back towards goal. We've talked about it multiple times throughout this weekend, but when you have a strong defense and players that can play those diagonal balls, it allows you to skip levels, and it's this West Florida midfield that's extremely strong, so if you can skip them entirely by passing it forward, it certainly could be a strong play.
And it puts their defense under pressure when you complete passes like that. And that's one of the things that's been one of the developments in in the soccer game, probably over the past 10 to 15 years. Ball-playing center backs. You want guys who play center back who are very comfortable on the ball, guys that you can keep play ticking on through. You don't want guys who are just always going to hit balls long all the time. You want guys who can hit accurate passes.
Well, you used to see a lot of very big physical guys, and now the iteration has become those big physical guys also have strong ball skills. You'll see so many teams even attack out of the back using their center backs now.
And that's just how the game has progressed. You got to have soccer players, and when I mean soccer players, I mean guys who are comfortable on the ball at every level of the field.
Emily Michaela standing over the ball now. Set to service this one back in. Multiple players posted up at the top of the 18. Michaela certainly will try to service this one to the back post. He does just that. Battle for the ball, and Gomes comes up with it. It looked like that was Navarro in the vicinity.
Another decent ball from Michaela right there. I would have loved to see him maybe drive it a little bit more, put a nice swerve on it. But it looked like J.H. Gomes was able to make a nice save right there, and I think they called a foul, actually.
On second look, it appears that was Edgar Cervantes, the graduate student out of Cancun, Mexico. He transferred in from Tusculum prior to the spring season in 2020. Certainly has added to the depth of this squad, a very talented player in that midfield position. Bischoff looking to distribute out of the back. Instead, he'll give way to his fellow center back, Mike Boom. Great ball forward to Lewis, but it was West Florida who well defended.
Looks like Anselin isn't pressing either one of those center backs. Looks like Coach Elliott is content with letting them get on the ball. But in situations like that, if you're going to let those center backs have the ball, you have to have guys in behind marking those midfielders. You know, Michaela, you know, Cervantes are they're going to keep dropping in to pick up those passes. So you have to have guys pressing them.
Great horizontal ball, battle for it in the corner, and it'll go off of the face of McWhirter for a West Florida throw-in. We'll see now a couple of substitutions, at least one for West Florida as they go for a slightly different look. Luis Felipe entering this game. Certainly he played a lot the other night. Provided a nice spark for that West Florida team. Slides into that right back role.
And just as you said, each team has to have nice depth in this tournament. Got to have guys you can step in and rely on, and he's one of those guys for West Florida.
Felipe, the freshman out of Brazil, appeared in 50 minutes in that game against AUM. Did have a shot. And perhaps that's what he's being brought in for, his ability to attack out of that right back role. Certainly something that you'd like to see if you're West Florida. Great battle by Anselin, and he'll finally go down. Very physical, and the freshman Anselin ultimately taken off his feet.
Some nice center forward play from Anselin right there, winning that ball, drawing a foul, using his shoulder right there. Referee letting the boys play today, and Anselin was able to draw a foul from Michaela.
You could make the argument that Anselin perhaps drew first blood on that contact, got away with that one, and then it was Michaela who stepped in. Artar, from him, I might ask for a little bit more real estate in front of this ball. McWhirter definitely closer than 10 yards. That one played into the box. Keener comes way off his line and makes the play in the air.
That's easy pickings for Keener right there. Artar's got to get that towards the penalty kick spot a bit more.
Not a ton of wind out there if you look at the flag down behind the lead goal. Pretty slow, a little bit of wind. It's been a nice weekend out here. It started to cool down a little bit on Friday, and certainly something that these players had to have enjoyed.
Yeah, we've had some beautiful weather here in Pensacola. Definitely fit for a soccer tournament.
That first day of the tournament for the women's side, it was a little overcast, and we thought we were going to get some rain, got some sprinkles, but other than that, it has just been a beautiful weekend for Gulf South Conference soccer.
You can't ask for anything better than that.
Just over 13 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Both teams have had opportunities. Neither has found the first goal of this contest. And as we've seen so many times throughout this tournament, one goal could be all you need. So important to be the team that strikes first.
Another substitution for the Argos, number 16, Keegan Lynch.
Keegan Lynch, who played a big role in that game the other night, coming in as well for West Florida. A couple of early substitutions now late here in the first half by Bill Elliott.
See, a lot of coaches don't usually like subbing defenders, but you see Coach Elliott has already brought on two in this match. Both of his outside backs are now subs, which means that he's comfortable with the depth that he has in those positions.
Well, and he told us, he said the biggest thing that West Florida has struggled with, they've dealt with some injuries this year, which has led to just a lack of continuity. And now you look at that continuity and you say, well, maybe that helps your team a little bit, allowing you to cycle some other players in. And now he's clearly built up some trust in some players.
It gives other guys experience, especially for big games like this. You definitely don't want to throw a guy in cold in a situation, so you know if you've played him in a few games, you're much more comfortable putting him in.
Boom and Michaela playing around with it a bit in the back. West Florida nearly made things interesting. Ball played forward. McWhorter, the former Offensive Player of the Year, wins it. He had the game-winning goal the other night. Battled off the ball, but it's Stein who controls. Bischoff thought about sending one towards goal, thought better of it. Lee's had a ton of success when they go wide. Here's a ball played in. Nice job there to head that one away. That was Marshik who got his head on it.
And they usually love going to the right side right there. You got Bischoff, you got Michaela, all looking for McWhorter on this side and playing nice fizzed passes into McWhorter's feet, and he's able to do something with it.
A nice job there by Balzano. He was making that finishing run, and now a goal by Lee University. Balzano rewarded as Lee gets an early lead.
That's Balzano's 7th goal of the season, and what a big goal that is for this Lee team.
You mentioned Balzano. He was making a good run on that last ball in. This time the service by Michaela. They get it out wide to McWhorter and played into the box. A goal for Lee. Actually, on second look, that was Navarro who serviced it in, and Balzano just on that back post sent one right into the back of the net.
Yeah, it looked like Colin Lewis swung for it, missed, but the ball ends up finding Balzano. He made no mistake with that finish. Fabian Navarro involved once again for this Lee team. What a finish from Balzano, the Italian striker.
There was nothing Gomes could do. Marshik had his hand up begging for offsides, but none granted, and now Lee will have a opening goal here in this first period. Huge goal in this contest.
And that's going to open things up a bit more. We're going to see West Florida push on a bit more. Guys like Dos Santos, you see Chappie's playing a bit higher now. Anselin is pressing with vigor. And you can see that this West Florida team, I mean, I'm sure they were already awake, but now they're down to goal. They have to push forward now.
And it goes without saying, this West Florida offense, they've been the 3rd best offense in the league this year. So certainly by no means do we expect that to be the last goal of this contest, especially when you have players like Dos Santos and Anselin who've combined to score 24 at the top of this formation. Good run out of that back row for West Florida. That's Keegan Lynch. Lynch will be whistled for the foul. Little bump, some talking after the play.
What a recovery from number 23, Colin Lewis. He's having a little conversation with Keegan Lynch right there. Just a little friendly conversation. A few words going back and forth. But, I mean, it's a championship game.
The T, I'm sure, being on that back defensive line during your playing career, there was probably multiple friendly conversations that would take place.
See, I wasn't much of a talker. Usually, I didn't want to talk too much and get off my game, so I didn't really talk too much. But, yes, I definitely witnessed a few conversations. I definitely had a few guys talk to me.
So you were one of those guys who would be the one to shove someone down and then maybe stare at him, but you weren't going to talk to him?
Wasn't really going to talk to him. Just wasn't that my kind of game. Because I didn't want to do something, and I didn't want a guy to come back at me.
That's fair. It makes sense. I'm sure you were a player that the coaches don't mind to have, someone who could keep his emotions in check in big moments.
I'd like to think that.
Just 9 minutes remaining. That ball by Dos Santos played forward to Anselin. Now West Florida has it, and with numbers in front. Deflected to the center. Ed Chappie makes a move into space. Briefly loses it, gets it back. Here's Chappie's one-timer just over the crossbar.
What a big opportunity from West Florida, committing numbers forward. Ed Chappie, for a second, I thought he lost it, but he ends up getting it right onto his left foot. Gets a good strike on it, but it was always rising. Here we get another look at that opportunity right there. Going at Rada. And he ended up juking Rada and Cervantes. It gets it right on his left. But just rising over the bar.
After looking at that replay, maybe he wanted to lose it so that he could get it back to his left. A nice job there by Chappie.
Yeah, he's a top player. You know, he knows what he's doing out there.
1-0 Flames here. Just over 8 minutes to go in the first half of play. And a hotly contested matchup to this point. Our lone goal coming moments ago. Balzano would score off an assist by Navarro in the 33rd minute of play. That goal by Navarro, as you mentioned, Balzano, his 7th of the year. He leads this team in goals scored, and now Navarro picking up assist number 6 to take the lead in assist this season for Lee. West Florida, you can see them applying more pressure up the pitch now, finding themselves trailing.
They sense an opportunity to maybe get a goal and tie this game up. See them pushing numbers forward. Anselin leading the line. Dos Santos up there as well. We got number 15, Jack Patching, putting some pressure on Keener right there. You got to love that effort if you're a West Florida fan.
Nice job there by West Florida to win that ball. They were playing it forward, looking for that player, but I think he knew he was offsides and couldn't touch it, and so forced to let it roll back to the keeper. Seven and a half to go. A great first half between two top-notch programs. Chappie will pick up the foul. We saw him do something similar to that late in that game against AUM. He got carded that time, but taking the player down, allowing his defense to reset.
And I think that one against AUM was a bit smarter in that situation because he wanted to stop him from breaking. I don't think he needed to commit a foul in that situation.
Ed Chappie's played a lot of Gulf South Conference soccer. He's been around the block a few times. And certainly, as we mentioned, during his tenure, this West Florida team has been in the finals nearly every year, but so far they've been unable to make that leap to be conference champions. Certainly would be something he'd love to do today.
See, Chappie's no stranger to big games. He's definitely one of those experienced players in the lineup. Hopefully he can give some of that experience to this West Florida team.
They love to move the ball around in the back, trying to create those openings up the pitch. Here's Michaela now. Lays it out wide to Majboom. The strength of this Lee team, clearly that spine right up the middle of the field, the strength at center back, goalkeeper, and in the midfield. That ball played in, the offsides flag raised. Lee just a bit out in front of those defenders.
I feel like I've raved about Michaela all term. He's just always dropping into space, picking up these passes. Anytime he's free, he's a danger for this Lee team.
One nothing Flames here, just over 5.5 to go. West Florida, they'd love to find a late equalizer here heading into halftime. Yargo sending numbers forward and nearly got to Keener.
Gotta love the composure from the goalkeeper there, swinging it wide to Rada, and Rada's got space.
Sam Keener, the redshirt senior, we mentioned he's allowed less than a goal in 16 of his 18 starts entering this game. Couple of Defensive Player of the Week nods this season. 5 shutouts on the season through 18 starts. He's been so good in goal for Lee this season. West Florida, they'll control in the middle. Dos Santos double teamed and he'll lose it. Here comes Navarro, 1 assist already today. Navarro centers one into the box, cleared away briefly. Bounces around, they get it back to Lewis, who sends one in, back post. And it looked like that was Balzano in the area again.
Another dangerous opportunity for Lee. And that came off of a West Florida mistake right there. Colin Lewis floated the ball into the box. Well, you see Fabian Navarro running at defenders. He made a good decision laying that off to, I think that was number 12, Stein. And Lewis puts a nice little ball into the box, but West Florida is able to cover.
1-0 Flames, just over 4 to go in this opening half of the 2021 Gulf South Conference Tournament. The championship match here today, a rematch of that 2019 final. It was Lee who would beat West Florida in that game, and they find themselves in the driver's seat here this afternoon. A couple of substitutions now upcoming. We'll see Schemo come in.
And number 30, Drew Donahue's come in for Lee as well. Gives him another presence up front, another target man, another guy to aim for, especially on these set pieces.
Donahue will draw the foul right after entering this game. He was obviously raring to go and gets in and gets involved, gets his name on the stat sheet right away.
And that's what you need from a guy you sub in. You need a guy who's high energy. He's going to run at guys. And even though he was a bit too eager right there, committed a foul, definitely has high energy. You need that from him.
Donahue appearing in just his 5th game of the season. He had his first career goal against Shorter earlier this month. He's played in over 20 minutes in his last 3 games. And certainly an opportunity here to mention in college soccer the ability to sub a player out in the first half, bring him back in. And a lot of coaches will use this right at the end of the half to maybe get some of his top forwards about 5-6 extra minutes of rest before halftime. Anselin taken down, no whistle. Lee quickly pushing it up the field. Chappie tries to settle things down as he passes back into space. An errant pass by one of his teammates leads to another opportunity here for Lee as we get set to tick down the final moments of this first half, just over 2.5 to go. Touched back in, nearly a mistake. Having to shield. And that one will finally head out of play, and I'm not 100% sure why Gomes didn't pick that one up.
Yeah, some really shaky moments in the back for West Florida. Ball bouncing around. And Donahue applying pressure as Barankovic, as well as number 27, Austin Marshik. Not sure what was going on right there.
It did look like on that replay that maybe Donahue touched that ball. And you saw Gomes emphatically saying that was the wrong call, but nonetheless it will lead to a corner kick for Lee. An opportunity perhaps to add another goal here at the end of the half. Kayla's in-swinger, headed out easily by West Florida. Chappie controls. But we've seen all afternoon, as soon as Chappie touches the ball, they've committed numbers to him. Nothing Flames, just under 1.5 minutes to go in this first half. West Florida's Anselin taken down. The foul goes against Bischoff. Perhaps an opportunity here late as the clock continues to tick.
It's a big set-piece opportunity for West Florida in this situation. You know, Ed Chappie's going to be on this. He has to hit a good ball into the box.
They turn to Chappie here, their leader, their elder statesman. West Florida committing numbers towards that left side of the box, that near sideline on your screen. Chappie servicing one in. West Florida looking for the equalizer. They had runners on that back post. Keener, though, will control.
Nice authoritative goalkeeping from Keener in that situation. Chappie kind of floated it towards the penalty kick box, trying to give his guys a chance. But Keener did great to come out and grab that.
There was some contact made by Anselin on the keeper, but no foul. 1-0 the score, just over 20 seconds to go. Certainly looking like 1-0 might be our score line at the half. West Florida applying some good late pressure, but 1-0 will indeed be our score line at the half. Lee picking up a late goal in the 30th, late in the 30th minutes. And it's Lee who will have a lead. Dati, some thoughts from what we just saw in the first half?
Gotta love what you've seen from Lee if you're a Lee fan. They've been pressing well. They've created opportunities well. Fabian Navarro has been a nice jitterbug in the box as well as outside the box as well. He's been fearless running at defenders. Jared McWhorter as well. And what a goal from Mattia Balzano, getting his 7th of the season to lead the team.
Some great soccer here early on. It's Lee who will lead at the half, the 4 seed, leading West Florida, the 3 seed, trying to repeat as Gulf South Conference champions. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the stats and further break down what you saw in the first half.
"52 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
I was told the place I was looking for didn't exist.
A place that could refine my raw talents into something greater.
Where I could ask big questions about my faith, not settling for easy answers.
And I could risk what's comfortable in pursuit of my dream.
To join with others, find my voice, and change the world.
I was told that place didn't exist.
Then I found Lee.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
I was told the place I was looking for didn't exist.
A place that could refine my raw talents into something greater.
Where I could ask big questions about my faith, not settling for easy answers.
And I could risk what's comfortable in pursuit of my dream.
To join with others, find my voice, and change the world.
I was told that place didn't exist.
Then I found Lee.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Just under a minute to play. How do you think this first half went out?
As we welcome you back here to Pensacola, Florida, what a day for this Gulf South Conference Championship. Lee University versus West Florida, the 4 versus the 3 seed. And right now it's Lee who finds themselves in the lead, 1-0. Let's take a look at some stats from the first half. West Florida and Lee, we mentioned the difference on the scoreboard, but it's been West Florida who hasn't taken as many shots as Lee. Lee has certainly had a lot of opportunities here early on.
Yeah, Lee's pressed forward from the get-go. Like, they pushed forward. They've created opportunities. I remember early on, Jared McWhorter had a shot that was blocked. They were finally rewarded with that Mattia Balzano goal, but they've definitely been the aggressors early on.
I've got that 5 in the corners category circled in my book. Lee, they've created a lot of great opportunities on set pieces, but so far have been unable to score from one.
Yeah, those set pieces are dangerous, and you don't want to give a team too many set pieces, especially a team like Lee.
1-0 the score here as we get set to return to play. Tejan Kiri, Noah Frary will be with you throughout the final 45 minutes of this game, maybe even more if one of these teams can find a goal here, particularly West Florida, who finds themselves trailing. We mentioned in the first half, this is a rematch of that 2019 championship game, and certainly has been a strong start to this contest from both programs.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to watch so far. As you said, it is a rematch of this 2019 championship game, but there are a lot of guys who didn't play in that game that are on this field today. So for them, I mean, it's a different championship game. It's a different feel. You got different systems. So even though you do have the same 2 teams playing, you do have a lot of differences.
1-0 the score as we get set to return to action. West Florida and Lee, the difference just 1 goal so far. It was Jared McWhorter who assisted that goal in that 2019 championship that Lee would ultimately win. This West Florida team, as we mentioned, they've been in a lot of championships, 5 out of the last 6, but so far they've been unable to find that elusive next championship.
And if they want things to change in this game, they have to have a spark. They need somebody like Dos Santos and someone like Ed Chappie to make the difference. This is definitely a situation where you want your best players to step up.
If West Florida could come back in this game and win it, it would be their 10th title in program history, the only team in men's soccer that would be able to claim that they've got into double digits. But certainly it's going to be a tough battle to get back into this game. Lee has looked extremely strong in this one. They were able to get some of their starters a little extra rest there heading into the half. And certainly it's things like that that could make such a difference in this second half. Ball played in now. Here's Dos Santos. He'll send one back post. The runner got there a bit late. That was Lynch who put one on frame.
Nice little teasing opportunity from West Florida right there. Dos Santos was clipping that ball into the box. Not sure why number 12 Noam Stein let that bounce, but he gave an opportunity to Keegan Lynch. Lynch just wasn't able to get over the ball.
Dos Santos looked a little bit more dangerous on that one. We haven't seen him get involved a ton since the semifinal round. Him and a player like Anselin certainly going to need to step up here in a big way in the second half. West Florida came into this game sitting well in those regional rankings. Certainly both of these teams have a chance at playing in the NCAA tournament. West Florida's case extremely strong this year. Lee looking for that automatic bid by winning the Gulf South Conference tournament. Ball played in deep, and it'll go all the way back to Gomes as he steps forward to retrieve it.
Looks as if West Florida's changed systems in the second half. Looks like they're playing with 3 center backs, and it looks like number 16 Lynch as well as Bernardo Torres are playing in sort of those wing back roles. So they'll be expected to contribute a lot offensively, especially on those wings.
Perhaps trying to get some additional numbers forward into the attack. Here's West Florida building up. Dos Santos down at the top of the box, dumped off now. A shot comes. Now we'll have a stoppage for the foul.
And with that change in system, Dos Santos has moved off the wing and he's moved into a more central position. He's won a free kick for West Florida.
Ed Chappie, the usual kick taker on this one. Dos Santos went down and it looked like the center official gave play on there. And then once West Florida lost control of the ball, he brought it back for the free kick opportunity. Chappie over the ball, standing there as well. Keegan Lynch. 5-man wall set up by Sam Keener.
Looks like Lynch is giving that left foot option for West Florida, but you got to think it's going to be Chappie who's going to take this.
West Florida actually Lee, even a player laying down behind that wall so that he can't go low. Chappie goes direct, and he has equalized.
What a massive, massive goal from Ed Chappie. A big goal for West Florida in this one. Early in the second half, the right foot strike of Chappie.
One of the best players in West Florida history. A 3-time All-Gulf South Conference first-team honoree, and he equalizes.
See him line him up, take a deep breath, strike through this ball wonderfully. Keener got a hand on it, but it just wasn't enough. What a special goal from Ed Chappie.
This could be the money angle right here. Here's Chappie, steps over the ball, sends that one towards goal. It goes off the hand of Keener, but into the back of the net. What a strike by Chappie. And just like that, West Florida has life here in the second half.
Now, game on, 1-1. Let's see what happens in this one.
Buckle up. Should be a fun second half. Be interesting to see how that momentum by scoring that goal. You heard the crowd get into it too. They've been a little bit quiet in this one, but that's re-energized this pro-West Florida crowd.
I think they're going to use this crowd to their advantage. They're going to keep fighting. You see them. This goal has given them some new life, and they're pushing forward again.
West Florida certainly more aggressive play here. Seen a couple of slide tackles over the last several minutes. Didn't see a lot of that in that first half. Clearly they came into the second half looking for a jolt of energy, and that has been delivered by Ed Chappie. But the T, you know as well as I do, that's what we love about the game of soccer. Lee, obviously, they've come out. They led through the first 45, got punched in the mouth here to begin the second half, and now it's up to them to make adjustments.
Yeah, they have to stay calm. They have to continue to play their game as they did in the first half. You know, they conceded, yes. It's 1-1, yes. But, hey, they have to keep playing their game, keep moving the ball from side to side, keep playing their possession-based game.
A goal by West Florida, their 39th on the campaign, has equalized. Dos Santos creates the turnover now. Dos Santos slithering into the box. Dos Santos raises his foot, plays one in, and West Florida has taken the lead.
What a massive goal. A response from West Florida in this second half of action. You've got to love the work rate right there. Caden Dos Santos winning the ball, feasting on a Lee mistake. Oh, and he did the right thing right there. Instead of going for goal, he just clips it in for Bernardo Torres. I think we're going to get a replay coming up in a second. Takes his time. Nice little clip with the right foot. What a header from Bernardo Torres. Directs it into the back of the net. Nothing Sam Keener could do right there.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice in the same location. Well, it is struck twice in the last couple of moments. This time, Bernardo Torres has given West Florida the lead. What a first 5 minutes here to begin the second half to T.
Yeah, massive goal for him. It's his third of the season.
West Florida now finds themselves leading. And now trying to take this one to its completion. We mentioned it towards the end of that half. We'd seen one goal, and I said, you know, we'll probably see at least one more. Didn't expect to see two that quickly.
Yeah, as you said, West Florida's a team that likes to score goals. They're scoring just over 2 a game. So you knew they're going to push forward. You knew they're going to create opportunities. And fortunately for them, at least from their perspective, they've done that.
That first goal by Ed Chappie off of that free kick opportunity, his first goal of the season. That goal a moment ago by Torres, his third of the year. And I talked to some fans in between the game, and the one thing I said about West Florida, they've got the two dominant scorers, Dos Santos and Anselin. They've combined to score 25 of the now 40 goals this year, and that allows defenses to, make a game plan around those two players. But what we've seen in the last couple minutes, it's been players that haven't scored a lot, and that's what West Florida needed.
Yeah, you need guys to contribute. And with a guy like Torres, the way his work rate is, he's going to create opportunities for himself simply because of that. And he was able to get into the box. Dos Santos played him a nice ball, and he was able to finish it.
2-1. West Florida finds themselves in the lead at this moment. But certainly you have to expect that we'll see some more exciting play throughout the rest of this half. West Florida, they came into this game, we mentioned they've won 9 Gulf South Conference tournament titles, but their last came all the way back in 2013. They've been knocking on the door for the last 6 years. They've been in 5 of the last 6 finals. But now in the driver's seat trying to get into double digits. They'd be the first program to do it. Here's Chappie, a ball into the box. He was looking for the head of Howe, deflected away for a Argos throw-in.
Good play from Bischoff right there, winning that ball. Another dangerous ball from West Florida right there.
2-1 the score. 2 very quick goals. One in the 48th minute off of a free kick opportunity by Ed Chappie. The second in the 49th minute. Bernardo Torres, and it was Kenan Dos Santos picking up an assist. Here's a ball sent towards goal. West Florida still with it. West Florida coming out some kind of hot in this second half.
And it was a long throw opportunity right there from Keegan Lynch. What a throw that was. I couldn't tell who got a head on it, but that should have been 3-1, I think. There's a free header in the box. They're definitely going to want that chance back.
You have to ask if maybe West Florida was holding something back a little bit in that first half, or maybe it was just a phenomenal adjustment at half by Bill Elliott, who's been doing this for so long.
And see that once again, that throw-in. I believe that was, I can't tell if that was Torres.
That Torres again?
Would have been another goal for him.
West Florida perhaps riding that momentum, that added emotion. You've seen them applying a lot of pressure, much like Lee had done early on in the game to the Argos.
And I think that's been the difference so far in this second half. Like, you see them pressing hard, running for every single ball. And see that second goal came from Dos Santos stepping in and winning that ball from Bischoff. They're just playing with a bit more vigor, a bit more energy. They're playing harder. They're not giving Lee a chance to turn and build up play.
I felt like you could say that maybe West Florida was a bit lethargic in that first half. Lee University clearly came out. They were the aggressor, but this game has been turned on its head in a hurry here in the second half. We have a Lee player down behind the ball. He was hit near the sidelines, and now the training staff out to attend the injured Lee player who's down. 2-1 West Florida. So far, 2 second half goals as they check with the Lee player who finds themselves down. Looks like he's going to be okay and get back up. Sagi Rada, the player down. 2-1 the score, just over 36 minutes remaining in this 2021 Gulf South Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. Lee looking to win 2 in a row. West Florida looking to avenge that loss in 2019. They've had 2 second half goals. Certainly have put themselves in a strong position.
Quite a lively start to the second half for them. Let's see if we have more of that in this half.
I hope if you're just joining us that you didn't go to the fridge and make a sandwich in between halves, because you missed perhaps some of the most exciting parts of this game. A couple of goals scored just over a minute apart from each other, a minute 19 to be exact.
Yeah, when here's that replay, that second goal from Dos Santos. He won a ball from Bischoff. Makes the right decision right here, clipping this ball in for Bernardo Torres. What a diving header from him.
Just a great misdirection there on the header by Torres. West Florida, now the thought has to be, can they find a third? And for Lee, you have a guy like Jared McWhorter over here who's already had some heroic play this tournament. Certainly they'd love to have him find a goal.
And, I mean, if you're Lee, you don't want to panic. I mean, you still have 36 minutes remaining in this game, so you can't panic at all. You just have to make sure you match West Florida's energy because they're still coming hard.
Michaela services one, kept in play narrowly by Stein. The build-up for Lee looks strong. Navarro into the center. He passes it off. Now outside McWhorter. This is where he scored from in that semifinal. Gives way back to the middle. One-timer by Cervantes. And goes right of goal.
It's a big opportunity for Lee right there. Cervantes is going to want that one back. McWhorter made the right decision. You thought for a second he might pull the trigger, but ends up cutting it back across to Cervantes, but Cervantes swung and didn't get enough on it.
Looks like he worked up and over that top of the ball instead of maybe perhaps trying to go for that left corner. He was trying to go for the right.
Would have loved to see him take a touch in that situation, maybe get a strike off, but maybe he was worried about taking too much time.
Jihad Gomes, we mentioned in that semifinal game, neither of those keepers between AUM and West Florida had to make a lot of big saves until the penalty kick session. Gomes, saving 2 of 4 penalty kicks, and that was a big reason why West Florida got through, and certainly he now has some increased confidence between the posts.
And he carried that confidence into today. As you said, I made a big save from Jared McWhorter's shot in the first half. I think that's his biggest save so far in this one. And the way this game's going, he may have to make one more, at least one more.
And that's where if you're West Florida, you'd love to perhaps find another goal, take some pressure off of your goalkeeper.
Definitely don't want to rest on your laurels. You don't want to keep it 2-1. You definitely want to push for another goal.
A lot of action in the center of the field right now. McWhorter trying to win it. Nice slide tackle there by Marshik. He's had such a good tournament.
So much energy from this West Florida team. Sliding in, trying to win every single ball. Work rate, incredible from this team.
Ball serviced forward. They were trying to pick out Arantes. West Florida comes up. You see Ed Chappie dropping in deeper as well, back to retrieve the ball. Good battle over here between Bischoff and Anselin. No foul blown. Our center official has certainly allowed some physical play in today's contest.
And you know, soccer is a contact sport. Sometimes you just got to let them play. Can't call every single ticky-tack foul. I know Anselin's going to want that call. He may get a call later on, though. We'll see.
Quick throw in by Lee. Centering ball. McWhorter left open. One-timer.
Might be the biggest opportunity of this game so far for this Lee team. Gotta love the work from Arantes, driving down the line, playing this ball across. Oh man, what a big opportunity for the Flames. I mean, there's no other person you'd rather want that ball to fall to than Jared McWhorter. Oh, he's got to get that on frame. He has got to get that on frame. What a big opportunity for him.
McWhorter, perhaps 2 of the best opportunities of the day for Lee. One in the first half and another right there. They certainly could have used that goal in a big way. 2-1 West Florida. The scoreline remains after 2 goals to begin the second half. West Florida jumping out to a lead now here in half number 2, trying to win their 10th Gulf South Conference championship in program history. Good ball played forward. Torres trying to get on the end of it. Bischoff able to keep that one in play, and for a throw-in, nice job there.
Yeah, good defending from him. Making sure this isn't a corner kick opportunity, but you know West Florida still has Keegan Lynch in the game. And you know he can deliver a nice throw-in into the box.
2-1 the score, an opportunity here for West Florida to add another. 13 minutes into the second half, these fans getting into it. Lynch set to throw one into the box. Long throw by Lynch towards the center. That one bounces around, still bouncing around. It nearly came back to Lynch. Another good opportunity for the Argos.
Another big-time opportunity, just as you said.
Chappie with a dangerous ball. Sam Keener has to make a football catch on that one.
Dramatic goalkeeping from him. Nice catch. Nice, able to start the attack quickly.
We mentioned Gomes has had some pressure relieved from him after those 2 goals to begin the second half, but the pressure has certainly dialed up on Sam Keener. He needs to keep this scoreline at 2-1 if Lee wants to get back into it. We see that long throw again by Lynch here on the screen.
Put in a dangerous area one more time, right in the middle of the 6-yard box. And that's exactly where you want it.
It looked like Anselin may have taken a swing at that one, but didn't connect. That was another beautiful strike by Chappie.
Spectacular save from Keener right there, grabbing that with both hands.
Keener made a nice play on that one. Lee University up in the state of Tennessee. Maybe Josh Heupel over at the University of Tennessee could have used him right there. A tough game yesterday against Georgia. Certainly they could have used a few extra receivers. 2-1 the score. West Florida taking on Lee. 14 minutes into the second half.
See, it's another big opportunity for Lee right here. McWhorter's going to be on it. See if he has short memory from that last opportunity. I mean, he's experienced. He's one of their guys. He's got to hit a good ball in this situation. Maybe leave and go for goal. Who knows?
He had the game winner in that semifinal game. This one, if he could score, it would be to tie. McWhirter, the former Offensive Player of the Year back in 2019, services a beautiful ball back post. But it's West Florida who defends it well, but Michaela gets it back. One-timer deflected away. West Florida clearly brought the energy to begin this half, but you're starting to see Lee bring a little bit more energy as they try to get back in.
Which is what they have to do. They have to match that energy. And you really need guys like Michaela to help calm the game down a bit, keep play ticking on, make sure they don't lose possession in these key areas. Definitely is an important player for them, especially in this half.
Lee starting to commit numbers forward into the attack. You saw Meijboom up in the area. Torres battling forward on that back line. It's his goal so far that has given West Florida the lead. (2-1) the score. West Florida leading with under 30 minutes to go in this championship match, and now we'll get a stoppage. Looks like we might see a couple of substitutions. And there's a player down on the far side of the pitch. That's Torres. And that's the game of soccer right there. You have the biggest moment of the game, and then you find yourself hit on a foul and laying on the ground.
And he's an important player. They need him. They don't need him to come out.
Torres going to walk off. Haven't seen a signal yet. He does have the ability to re-enter this game, but it looks like his coach, Bill Elliott, might turn and bring in some substitutions. And that's perhaps, we saw in that first half, his ability, Coach Elliott, to bring in some players on defense. You know, and you mentioned you don't see that a lot, but certainly he has some confidence in some players.
And that's the thing, when you have guys that can give you that depth and that have that experience, like playing big games, you know, he's going to take advantage of that.
Ed Chappie, it was his goal to begin this half. It gave West Florida some life. He equalized, and then just a minute and 19 seconds later, it was Torres who would give West Florida the lead. That's what you want your leader to do. Ed Chappie, the fifth-year player, the graduate student, one of the most decorated players in West Florida history, doing what he needed to do in this game.
And, you know, I zeroed in on these guys, Chappie and Dos Santos. I knew West Florida needed them to make a big difference. And you see Chappie opened up the scoring, and Dos Santos made a great decision, clipping that ball into Torres for his diving header. So two of those guys making a big difference, and that's what you need in championship games like this.
That replay we showed you a moment ago was the first goal of the game. Here's the second. Ed Chappie went right by the keeper. Keener got his hand on it, but not enough to keep it out of goal. 2-1 the score. West Florida in the lead. 29 to go. Argos certainly would love to tack on another one. Nice move into space. Dangerous ball into the box. They were looking to get it to Howe.
And that started with a nice switch of play from Dos Santos out to Novus. And Novus, great play out wide. 1v1. Goes past the defender, puts in a nice ball, but it's defended well by Lee. But it's going to be another long throw opportunity for Lynch.
We mentioned Novus, the team leader in minutes played this season. He'll switch places now back on defense as West Florida commits numbers forward. Header into a dangerous spot in the box. Initially cleared away. Ed Chappie racing for it. He controls. Big slide tackle from behind as Chappie goes down.
Hard tackle from Arantes right there. But Chappie wins a free kick for West Florida.
See that tackle again right there. Two grown men racing for the ball. Won the score. A long free kick opportunity for West Florida upcoming, and they turn to Ed Chappie again. He's the trigger man on these set pieces. Chappie's in-swinger towards that back post, headed and ultimately controlled by Sam Keener.
And I see Lee building quickly out of the back. McWhirter out wide, dropping in and picking this one up. Let's see that free kick again. I think that was Meijboom who actually won the header.
2-1 the score. West Florida currently in the lead after two very quick goals to begin the second half. Jumping all over Lee University after they led through the first 45. We mentioned at half that Lee had a ton more shots than West Florida, but that certainly flipped around here in this second half.
I mean, you knew West Florida was going to come out with a bit more energy, especially to start the second half, and they were rewarded with that. They played well defensively. They were pressing hard. They created opportunities for themselves and scored 2 quick goals to take the lead.
This is a West Florida team. They are towards the bottom, ranked 11 out of 12 teams in terms of shots throughout the course of a game. But it's interesting to see that this West Florida team, their offense is 3rd in the conference. So certainly they're a team that takes advantage of opportunities, and we've seen that here today. They've taken 6 shots, 5 of them on goal, 2 goals. They're doing it again today.
And one thing I like about those numbers, the 5 on goal is big right there. You definitely want to force the keeper to make a save. That's the big thing. Because, you know, if you force him to make a save, you can potentially get a rebound opportunity. Or, I mean, you can score goals, honestly.
West Florida, it certainly seems like they rely on a strategy that's built a little bit more around quality than quantity in terms of that shot category. And we've seen differences between programs in this tournament already, but certainly that's worked for West Florida this season. An opportunity for West Florida to build up. Lee did a nice job of getting numbers back. Now ball serviced into the middle. Keener was already off his line, able to just get there in front of Elijah Howe. Novus goes down.
Austin Marshik, very animated. Loving that effort from Novus. I think I was Colin Lewis who was called for the foul right there.
Another physical tackle by Lee. Ed Chappie asked to back up a few steps. That ball placed just on the edge of the Gulf South Conference logo. Great ball played into the back post, headed towards goal and just off to the left.
Big opportunity for West Florida right here. Can't tell if that was number 15, Jack Patching, who got on the end of it. A nice driven ball from Chappie.
I've been so impressed with Ed Chappie's creativity on those free kicks. He has so many different balls that he can play. That one was driven in. We saw the last one kind of bounding in. Multiple different looks for this Lee defense and Sam Keener.
And a lot of times it has to do with the distance. So he knows he's a bit further out, so he knows he has to drive it in a bit more, kind of on a flat line towards that back post. And that's what he did that time.
You have to think that if this scoreline were to hold up, there's a big chance that maybe Ed Chappie is your MVP of this tournament. He only has that 1 goal, but certainly has been all over these contests. Still so much soccer left to be played, though. Just over 24 minutes. Don't count out this Flames team. They won the championship in 2019. Certainly now it's going to be a tough uphill climb. They play it out wide. That one will go off of Balzano for West Florida throw in. The Argos made such a big change in systems heading into this second half. You saw them go from having 4 in the back to 3, getting that extra player in the midfield, and it certainly played dividends. Here's a ball played across. Cervantes on the end. Nice step there to clear that one away. I believe that was Marshik who got in on the action.
Once again, great defending from Austin Marshik. Another solid game for him. Just wish he could have completed that pass to start the West Florida break, but ultimately defensively he's been solid.
We've mentioned Ed Chappie a lot, but Emily Michaela, another really strong player for Lee, the captain. Certainly he's going to need to be a player that steps up and tries to get this offense going again.
And you see already in the second half, like he's dropping in, he's trying to pick up these passes in these little pockets of space. He's keeping play ticking on in the second half. Definitely trying to be a calming influence in the midfield for his team.
Emily Michaela, the senior out of Finland. He started his 43rd match of his career here in this one. He's played over 90 minutes in 12 of the 16 games he's played in this season. Definitely seeing two coaches that are content to play their midfielders a lot of minutes. We mentioned Novus for West Florida, a player that plays a lot. Here's Lewis, touches it across. McWhorter switch sides of the field. Won by West Florida in the middle. That was Patching.
Patching's giving them a lot of good minutes in this game.
Josiah Fontenot, another player that came into this game. He's got a couple of goals this season, a very talented striker. He missed that 2019 season with a red shirt following what was just a standout high school career. Fontenot scoring over 60 goals, adding 40 assists during his high school career. A foul going to go there against West Florida.
See number 22, Fabian Navarro, still high energy in this game. They're definitely going to need him to come up big for them.
Navarro cycles the ball forward. He was looking for McWhorter. That pass too strong as it rolls out, and Gomes jogs over to retrieve.
I think Navarro's playing a bit too direct in that situation. He had number 12, Noam Stein, out wide. I would just like to see him just keep a little bit more possession and maybe pick a better opportunity to go forward.
Elijah Howe exiting this game as Bill Elliott again goes to his bench. He mentioned to us in our conversation earlier this week about the lack of continuity his team has had. One thing that has definitely helped is by playing a lot of players, they have an extreme amount of depth, and that's been on display today. Here's Fontenot, back post ball. There was no one, though, in the vicinity.
Teasing ball for Fontenot. I think just got a little too much bend on it. I think he would have loved to get that one across. I think that was number 4 for Artar coming in at the back post.
2-1, the score persists. West Florida pushing for their third goal. Lee looking for the equalizer. Under 20 minutes remaining in this championship battle. The ball bounces around, ultimately cleared out by Lewis. Balzano giving chase, sent back by Felipe. More pressure from Lee.
Gotta love West Florida playing out the back right there. A few iffy moments right there, but able to complete passes, and there they go.
Touch forward, that slide tackle, shepherding the ball out of play. It was Artar who found himself inside the 18, but now West Florida with a corner kick opportunity here with under 20 minutes remaining. They've looked deadly on these several times.
Now they're pushing people forward like Marshik. Marshik is a big body, a guy you can hit as a target man in this situation. Got number 3, Luis Felipe up there as well.
That one played back post, headed away. Battle for the ball, sent back in. And West Florida sends a shot on frame, but it looks like we'll see a foul call before that opportunity.
Yeah, it looked like Patching had his hands on the back right there. I think this is who they called the foul on. Yeah, it looked like Patching was using Noam Stein to propel himself upward.
2-1 the score. Just over 18 minutes to go. West Florida, they've played in 5 of the last 6 championship games, but have been unable to win one. Their last GSC title taking place back in 2013. West Florida looking to return to the top of the mountain in the Gulf South Conference with a win here today.
See, once again, you see patient build up from Lee. They have to get some movement in between the lines. It looks like they're getting a bit more. Some more great work for them.
West Florida steals it back in the center of the pitch. Marshak, who's been so strong all day, all tournament. West Florida recycles the ball through the back. Flicked on by Lynch, looking down the line. That one out of play, and Lee will have a throw in deep in their own side of the ball. This Lee team in that first half, they won the possession battle 60-40, but you have to feel like that has now flipped on its head.
And they have had some moments of good possession, but as you said, I think West Florida's kept a bit more possession. They've cycled it a bit more. I think they've had some better moments on the ball in the second half. Definitely more quality moments.
Two-1 the score, and now a stoppage. Our center official over to talk to the sideline. Looks like cautioning that West Florida bench. Perhaps some additional chirping going on over there.
I mean, yeah, we got 16 minutes left in the championship game. It's very intense over on that side, as well as on the Lee bench, I'm sure.
A lengthy stoppage here. West Florida set to throw the ball back in. Two-1 the score, West Florida and Lee. A rematch of the 2019 championship game, and it has lived up to that.
Some great skill right there from Gabriel Arraez. Winning a throw-in for West Florida in that situation.
For West Florida, 16 minutes away from a championship. For Lee, 16 minutes away from perhaps a defeat, but still plenty of time for the Flames to find a late equalizer. Emily Michaela plays it up the line. Lewis trying to keep it in play. That ball out now for an Argos throw-in. Novus set to heave it back into play. Goes up the line looking for Fontenot. It goes off of the front of his head and out of play now for a Lee throw-in. Expect this game to open up significantly in the next 10 minutes, particularly for Lee.
Yeah,
perhaps some desperation.
Yeah, they're going to have to commit more numbers forward. Maybe they'll play a bit more direct. We're getting to that point in the game where they're going to have to start taking chances to try to get the equalizing goal.
And right as you say that, Colin Lewis subs out, and they bring back in Caio Arantes, who's their second leading goal scorer. Patching some nice moves off the ball. Now deflected out. West Florida will have a throw-in.
Crowd loving the work from Patching right there. Able to retain possession. Now we got another throw-in for West Florida.
They go short to Chappie in the corner. Chappie somehow sends that one back across goal. It bounces out now. Artar sends one near post, but Keener there.
A rising strike from Artar, but Keener made a sure-handed save.
West Florida, they had another dangerous opportunity there. They'd love to find a third goal.
Nice ball from Chappie across. Headed away by Stein. You see Artar's able to strike through that with the left foot. Rising, but Keener catches it.
That one sent firmly all the way to the back. Keener corrals it out of midair, quickly gets it back into the run of play. Navarro on the ball. They've got some real estate there on that far side of the pitch. They find it. That's Stein driving at the West Florida defense. Played forward now. Bonzano servicing ball to the middle. Cervantes on it again. And much like the last time, misses to the right.
Another decent opportunity for Lee right there. Nice ball across from Bonzano. A bending cross. bouncing for Cervantes. Oh, he looks like he's just kind of swiped at it. The ball bounces harmlessly wide.
2-1, another missed opportunity for Lee University, and you have to start to question how many more opportunities will they get in this game.
They're going to have to keep pushing numbers forward, especially out wide. You know, Noam Stein is a bit more attack-minded as a fullback than Usagi Rada, so they need to keep progressing him forward and maybe keep getting him the ball so he can keep the ball moving maybe to Navarro or maybe guys like Arantes or Balzano, whoever's making runs on that side.
McWhirter tried to English that one to Navarro in the middle. It was picked off initially, but Lee gets it back. Nice move by Navarro, now sends it out wide into space. Navarro showing some good speed late in this contest, but unable to turn the corner on Novus. Ball flicked in back post. Here's an opportunity for Balzano. Couldn't control. He's got the lone goal for Lee. McWhirter's ball back post, and Gomes with a nice play.
Looked like he was aiming for, I think that was Michaela who's making that run at the back post. Another good spell of possession for Lee. Initial ball came from Stein.
Lee University continuing to ask questions of that Argos back line, their keeper, and so far, West Florida has had all of the answers.
And you're correct there, Gomes able to grab that and able to relieve a bit of pressure for his team right there.
Just over 11 and a half remaining. Does Lee have a late equalizer? Arantes gets his pocket picked. A touch forward there. That was Bischoff who applied the firm contact. But T, I do find it interesting after the game that we saw the other night. We saw 13 cards in that one. We've yet to see a card in this one. Certainly there's been some moments where maybe that could have come out. That perhaps was one of them.
Yeah, there have been a few moments where he definitely could have given a card, but it looks like he doesn't want to change the complexion of this game by giving too many yellow cards. Because that's what happened in the last game, that West Florida AUM game. There were a couple early cards, and he felt the need to continue to give cards because he gave cards early.
2-1 the score, set to tick under 10 minutes to go. West Florida, what's at stake? It's their first Gulf South Conference championship since 2013. Lee University, they came into this game trying to repeat as GSC champions. It was an early second half run by West Florida that has changed this game. Now Lee playing from behind, looking for the late equalizer. Keener out of the back as we tick under 10 minutes to go here at Ashton-Brossenham Park, Escambia County Stadium. It's the perfect venue for what has been an incredibly strong championship, both on the women's side and the men's side. Lee's women winning yesterday to continue their undefeated season. Lee's men, though, find themselves trailing here late in the second half.
It's a nice play from Luis Felipe, saving that ball from going out for a corner. Now it's just a throw-in for Lee.
2-1 Argos. Lee desperately searching here for a late equalizer. That one going to go off of Lee and out for a goal kick.
Looks like West Florida's going to bring on Kane Dos Santos in for the home stretch in this one.
Dos Santos will re-enter for Fontenot. We saw West Florida take some risks early on in this half. It paid off in a big way. And now you're starting to see them play a bit more reserved on defense.
Yeah, definitely they're not going to take as many risks this time, especially with the lead. You don't want to leave gaps in behind you where Lee can exploit them.
Dos Santos draws the foul. And now we will see the first yellow card of the game. Ed Chappie was trying to get there quickly to talk to the center official, but he got that card out just in time, and that yellow card goes on Dos Santos, who just re-entered this contest.
The referee thought there was a bit of time wasting there from him trying to kick the ball away.
2-1, the scoreline persists. Lee led at the half. West Florida turned this game on its head in the first 5 minutes of the second half, scoring 2 goals. A yellow card issued to Kanan Dos Santos. Emily Michaela puts the ball back into play. He's been such a steady player for Lee. And certainly they could use just a bit more from him late in this contest.
It's been solid. One thing that we haven't seen much of in the second half was a ball like that from Edgeboom. Those long balls that he and Bischoff are good at, those diagonal balls, those balls into channels. Those are ways that Lee can create opportunities, especially in this part of the match.
(2-1) West Florida, 8 minutes away from their league-leading 10th Gulf South Conference championship. The last time they won one all the way back in 2013. Ed Chappie has been a part of so many close calls for this Argos squad. And now it's Chappie who has put his team on the precipice of breaking that streak.
And I see getting a little chippy in that situation. Chappie was upset about that call. But it's another dangerous opportunity for Lee.
In all fairness, he did fall back, so.
As we see that foul again. I think referee thought Chappie shoved Arantes in the back. Looked like he may have extended that arm a little bit. And they exchanged some pleasantries.
2-1 the score. Here's the ball into the box. It looked like that went off the foot of the Argos defender. It did indeed. Corner kick opportunity here late in this contest as the clock continues to tick.
And as expected, Lee has those 2 center backs forward, Midgeboom and Bischoff.
Here's McWhirter, sends one towards goal. Not his best opportunity. And now West Florida will just clear it back up the field. Giving chase, though, is Novus.
He hasn't lacked energy at all today, just running for every single ball, putting pressure on that Lee back line.
Another corner kick opportunity here for Lee. Multiple late opportunities. But to this point, they've yet to find the equalizer. Going to bring in a couple of players here late in this contest. Drew Donahue brought in for his height. The 6'5" player finds himself positioned in the middle of the box. 6 minutes to go. The clock stopped for the substitutions. West Florida cycling some players back in. They bring Ed Chappie off the field. And maybe an opportunity there for Bill Elliott to say thanks to Chappie. Here's McWhirter. Ball bounces around. Dangerous on the back post. Cleared by West Florida for the moment. Midgeboom races. Keeps it in play. And Lee creates another corner kick opportunity. Anxious moments there.
Another big-time opportunity for Lee right there. Bouncing in the box. McWhirter put in a decent ball.
2-1 the score. Michaela services one back post. West Florida gets to it first. McWhirter down. Still down on the play. Now gets back to his feet as his teammate Navarro controls. Ball played into the middle. Another opportunity for Cervantes. And he'll miss that one. A goal kick for West Florida.
Another big opportunity for Cervantes. I think that's his 3rd of the game. Kind of lashed out it again. He's got to get those on frame. Too, I will say that is a tough one. The ball's bouncing a bit. But, man, he's going to want these back.
Substitution for the West Florida Argonauts, 6,
And then we see that replay again, a ball bouncing in for Cervantes. Strikes at it with the right foot. Ball goes wide, though.
Bischoff deflects it back to Keener. Under 5 minutes to go. West Florida on the precipice. Lee looking to put the party on hold. Dos Santos, great ball into space. It's Torres who gets on the end of it. His goal so far the difference. Torres trying to put this one on ice, just misses to the left of goal.
Yeah, it looked like Bernardo Torres was free on this right side. Like the lead defense backed off him a little bit. I think McWhorter applied a bit of pressure at the end. Torres went for goal. Just misses the back post by a little bit. Keener made a dive for it, but didn't get a touch on it.
Under 4 minutes remaining. 2-1 Argos. The fans starting to sense that this Argos team might exercise some of their demons and win their first GSC title since 2013.
Like the referee called a foul throw on that situation. Like he can't tell who it was from Lee who threw that. I think he lifted his leg in the air.
Does Lee have a late equalizer? That's the lone remaining question left on everyone's minds.
And there's Marshak there recovering, winning that ball for his team. Looks like West Florida's content to get this ball as far away from their goal as possible.
McWhorter, the hero from the other night. Does he have more to share today? 2-1 the score as we tick under 2 minutes remaining. This pro Argos crowd ready to celebrate. Lee, after winning in 2019, finds themselves a minute and 30 seconds away from watching West Florida repay the favor. The ball bounces around, and with every touch of the ball, precious seconds ticking off the clock.
And I see Lee trying to get this ball back to Medjboom so he can hit this long, but he wasn't able to get enough on that.
Medjboom services one up the line. Torres sends one out. Here's McWhorter as we tick under a minute to go. McWhorter forward, looking for Donahue. Advancing the ball is Lee. And now cleared up the field by Quiros. 40 seconds to go.
West Florida doing a good job of clearing their lines. That's what they have to do in this situation as the clock ticks.
25 seconds remain. Howe sends that one out with authority. 15 seconds. Navarro cuts into space. He'll cross one into the box. Bicycle kick opportunity by the captain, Michaela. And that might be it. And it is. And as the final whistle blows, it's West Florida that strikes gold. After so many close calls, it's the Argos who once again are GSC champs. For the first time since 2013, the Argos win the title, and now they're headed to the NCAA tournament.
I think it was a tale of two halves in this one. Lee, in that first half, you would have thought they had all the momentum, they had all the energy, they created the best chances in that one. But those little adjustments that Coach Elliott made in the second half, the team pressed a bit harder. They went to three in the back with the wing-back system. They were able to score a couple early goals in the second half, and they were able to hold on and win this GSC championship.
The wily veteran Ed Chappie gave this team that spark of emotion they so desperately needed, picking up that equalizer to begin the first half. What a career it's been for Ed Chappie. We see it again right here.
What a goal that was. And you know, one of my favorite football players, Santana Moss, once said, big-time players step up in big games. And you know, that was a big-time player doing that. Ed Chappie, what a free kick that was.
What a phenomenal game here today. Lee left devastated after losing. They led at the half, but it was West Florida who displayed the heart of a champion here today. And now they punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. What a week of soccer it has been here. See that opportunity right there by Dos Santos.
Nice composure, clipping that ball into the box. Bernardo Torres throws his body at it. What a diving header that is for him. That's his second game-winning goal of the season. His first one was an overtime winner against AUM earlier this season, and now his second one is the biggest one, arguably, of his career. Just look at that technique from him. Look at the emotion. Gotta love that from Bernardo Torres.
West Florida victorious 2-1. What a tournament it has been. What a week here in Pensacola. And West Florida returns to the top of the mountain. They win their first Gulf South Conference championship since 2013. So for our producer, James Crenshaw, Datij Kiri, and the rest of our crew, I'm Noah Ferrari saying so long from Pensacola for the last time here in 2021, where once again our score, West Florida 2 and Lee University 1. This has been a presentation of Gulf South Conference Soccer on Flow Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the trophy presentation that's coming up shortly.
52 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Yeah, that's it. I remember it. I was there. In Boston. Oh, they're moving. They started moving to the
Before we begin the presentation of individual awards and championship trophies for the Gulf South Conference, I'd like to thank the City of Pensacola for hosting the 2021 GSC Soccer Championships. A special thank you to the following individuals: Ray Palmer and Jeff Schmidt with Pensacola Sports, Adam Reed and his staff at the Ashton Broslingham Athletic Park, Bill Henry and his staff at the Andrews Institute, the University of West Florida Media Relations and Game Operations staff, and Jesse Rosa, Auburn Montgomery Director of Athletics and GSC Administrative Liaison for Soccer. Let's give all of these individuals, as well as all of our officials and volunteers, a round of applause. Presenting the awards today is the Gulf South Conference Commissioner, Matt Wilson. Here's the all-tournament team. The 2021 all-tournament team from Spring Hill College, Matthew Moreno. Also from Spring Hill, Alessandro Erdely. From Auburn Montgomery, Arnaud Barron. Also from Auburn Montgomery, Darius Reed. And now, from Lee University, Emily Michaela. Also from Lee University, Edgar Cervantes. And also from Lee University, Jared McWhorter. Congratulations to the Lee University Flames members of the All-Tournament team. And now for the University of West Florida Argonauts, Jihad Gomez. And also from West Florida, Tynan Dos Santos. And from the Argos, Lucas Barranquilla. And the final member of the all-tournament team and also the tournament's most valuable player from the University of West Florida, Ed And before we present the championship trophy, let's congratulate the runner-up, the Lee University Flames. And now, the winner of the 2021 Gulf South Conference Men's Soccer Championship and the recipient of the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA Regionals, the University of West Florida Argonauts. Big congratulations to the University of West Florida Argos, and thank you to all the fans in attendance today. Please have a safe ride home.